Good evening and welcome to Primetime News on Mitv. I'm Victor Daniels. In the news, President Bola Tinubu has reaffirmed Nigerians' readiness to work with African countries, global partners and the private sector to deliver secure, affordable, cleaner and inclusive energy. The president stated these while declaring open the 9th Nigerian International Energy Summit in Abuja. Represented by the event by Vice President Kashim Shettima, the president described energy as essential to peace, prosperity, and global stability, stressing that his administration is prioritizing the use of Nigeria's vast gas reserves as a transition fuel while expanding a renewable energy capacity. He said that energy must unite communities, stabilize economies, secure the future, adding that Nigeria is committed to building an energy system that delivers sustainability and shared prosperity. The president noted that his administration inherited an energy sector constrained by inefficiency and underinvestment, but has since implemented key reforms, including full implementation of the Petroleum Industry Act, regulatory strengthening, fuel subsidy, removal and foreign exchange liberalization. He disclosed that upstream activities have rebounded, with the rig counts rising from 8 in 2021 to 69 by late 2025, alongside over $8 billion in new investment commitments. President Tinubu therefore urged investors and stakeholders to partner confidently with Nigeria, assuring them of policy stability and investor-friendly reforms.
Crude oil theft, once a major concern on production and revenue, declined significantly due to enhanced security coordination, surveillance, and regulatory enforcement. These efforts restored operational stability and improved Nigeria's production reliability in international markets. This administration also made deliberate leadership appointments across key regulatory and development institutions, including governing councils and boards responsible for Nigerian content, regulatory oversight, and sector development. These appointments reinforce professionalism, accountability, and institutional effectiveness. Early reforms, most notably fuel subsidy removal and foreign exchange liberalization, reposition the sector's economics, improved market efficiency, and enhanced long-term investment attractiveness. While these measures required national sacrifice, they laid the foundation for sustainability, fiscal resilience, and investor confidence. Industry stakeholders and independent experts have described these reforms as transformational, aligning Nigeria's energy sector with global best practices. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the theme of this year's summit, Energy for Peace and Prosperity, speaks directly to Nigeria's vision. Energy must unite communities, stabilize economies, and secure futures. It must power factories, illuminate homes, fuel innovation, and build trust between government, investors, and citizens. Nigeria stands ready to collaborate with Africa, global partners, and the private sector to deliver energy that is secure, affordable, cleaner, and inclusive. As I formally, on behalf of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu GCFR, declare open the 9th Nigeria International Energy Summit, I invite all participants to engage constructively, invest confidently, and partner purposefully with Nigeria and Africa. I wish you fruitful deliberation.
The Senate has called on federal, state, and local governments to urgently close gaps in emergency health care by making it compulsory for hospitals nationwide to maintain a minimum stocks of anti-venom and other life-saving antidotes, especially in high-risk areas. The resolution followed the point of order raised by Senator Idiat Adebule, representing the Lagos West, who cited The tragic death of the young Nigerian Ifunanya Nwagene after a snake bite. Lawmakers overwhelmingly supported the motion, recommending that compliance with minimum antivenom and antidote stock levels be made prerequisites for the licensing of new hospitals and the renewal of existing operating licenses.
Treatment of snake bites and such other health challenges. Mr. President, for some of us who are from farming communities, who are easily exposed to snake bites, I found this motion very, very important because many a times victims of a snake bite have to move all the ways from the villages to the state capital before they are able to access treatment. If these drugs are made available to our health centers across the length and breadth of the Federation, such needless journeys seeking medical attention at state capitals wouldn't be necessary. And I think government has it as a duty to provide health care to all citizens across board.
We don't have to wait until there's a fatality through snake bites. This is a lesson for us to be proactive, that we must take healthcare very serious. It is tragic that the deceased went the way she died. But the bigger lesson for us is the need for us to have in place policies that must drive our healthcare. The fatalities that are caused by snake bites can be very painful and indeed avoidable.
Treatment of snake bites.
Emergency, including snake bites, scorpion, sting poison, drug overdose, and other form of envenomation, all of which require the immediate administration of specific antidotes and emergency medicines in both public and private school hospitals in order to prevent avoidable death and irreversible health complications. Further note that with grave concern, the tragic and avoidable death of Mrs. Ifunanya Nwagene, who reportedly died following a snake bite in Abuja recently, thereby revealing serious gaps in emergency preparedness and antidote availability within public and private hospitals in Nigeria. Aware that the World Health Organization classifies snake bite envenoming as a neglected tropical disease and underscore the critical importance of timely access to safe and effective antivenoms in public and private hospitals, particularly in countries such as Nigeria, where snake bite incidents remain prevalent.
Because we are supposed to have antidotes to take care of such situation. So, while we are condoling the family of the late woman, we have to be proactive as a government. I see no reason why most of our medical centers and hospitals all over the place shouldn't have medication for snake bites.
Prayer 2, urge the Federal Ministry of Health, in collaboration with the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, to ensure procurement, quality assurance, proper storage, and nationwide availability of safe, effective, and affordable antivenoms and critical antidotes for use in public and private hospitals with priority attention to high-risk regions. This is very good. Those in support of prayer 2 say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Prayer.
The House of Representatives on Tuesday inaugurated an ad hoc committee to investigate and appraise of the performance of concessionaries operating federal and seaports terminals and related shipping activities between 2006 and 2025, declaring the committee inaugurated on behalf of the Speaker, Right Honorable Tajuddin Abbas. Honorable Laurie Kwamoti said the exercise was a constitutional oversight responsibility aimed at determining the actual benefits accrued to the federal government from the concession of Nigerian strategic transport assets. He stressed that the probe was not intended to undermine the private sector participation, but to ensure accountability, value for money, compliance with contractual obligations, and the protection of public assets. Welcoming the stakeholders at the inaugural meeting, the chairman of the committee, Honorable Davidson Akinlayo, said the review was prompted by the growing national concerns over the transparency, revenue remittances, and operational efficiency within the port and the terminal concession framework. He noted that the committee would engage the key agencies and industry players, including the Nigerian Ports Authority, Nigerian Customs Service, concessionary shipping companies, and financial institutions, to examine the revenue flows, regulatory compliance, infrastructural development, and service delivery. Honorable Laurie Kwamoti further noted that the outcome of the investigation is expected to strengthen the governance, enhance investor discipline, and restore the public confidence in Nigeria's port concession program.
The scope of this committee's assignment is broad and critical. It includes, but is not limited to, 1, an examination of the terms and conditions of concession agreements entered into from 2006 to 2025, an assessment of revenue flows, remittances, and other beneficial benefits accruing to the federal government and its agencies. 3, a review of compliance with contractual, regulatory, and safety obligations by concessionaires. 4, an appraisal of infrastructure development, operational efficiency, service quality, and labor issues. 5, identification of challenges, gaps, and systematic weaknesses within the concession framework. And 6, the formulation of clear practical recommendations to improve policy, legislation, and future concession arrangements.
Members of the committee and all stakeholders, we shall engage to approach this mandate with the highest sense of duty, professionalism, and commitment to national interest. I am confident that through rigorous oversight, robust evidence-based analysis, and constructive engagement, this committee will deliver recommendations that will strengthen the efficiency, transparency, and economic impact of Nigeria port and terminal operation for the benefit of all Nigerians. The committee understands the weight of this responsibility. We determine to leave behind a legacy of stronger infrastructure governance, improved service delivery, enhance investor discipline, and restore public confidence in Nigeria concession program.
What we are always after is how can more revenue be mobilized into the Federation account as well as to the federal government. And I think this subcommittee and its assignment is timely, is apt, and I believe that the Commission will give its 110% support to this subcommittee to be able to look into this matter from 2006 to date so that more revenue can accrue not only into the federal government coffers, but into the Federation account.
The chairman of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, Brigadier General Mohammed Bubamawa, retired, has called for sustained national support for the Alternative Development Program aimed at curbing illicit drug cultivation and boosting the national security. Mawa made the appeal in Abuja while briefing the journalists on a pilot scheme that launched on 3 cannabis growing communities in Ondo State, Iluabo, Ifon, and Eleo. He explained that the initiative goes beyond the crop substitution, focusing on improving the rural livelihoods, enhancing the food security, reducing crime, and easing pressure on law enforcement agencies. Describing the program as people-centered, Amawa said it addresses the root causes of illicit drug production by providing a sustainable agricultural and economic alternatives to cannabis farming. The NDLEA chairman urged the federal and state governments, traditional rulers, development partners, the private sector, and civil society groups to support the program for nationwide expansion, noting that host communities in Ondo State have embraced the initiative. He disclosed that cannabis remains Nigeria's most widely used illicit drug, with over 10 million users, and accounts for more than 75% of illicit drugs seized by the NDLEA in the past 5 years. Amawa therefore expressed confidence that the program, aligned with President Bola Tinubu's renewed hope agenda, would improve livelihoods, enhance public health, and strengthen the national security.
This press conference, therefore, affords us the opportunity to brief Nigerians and the international community on one of such interventions outside our regular law enforcement efforts. This significant game-changing strategy is the Alternative Development Program, an initiative fully aligned with the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Grand Commander of the Order of the Federal Republic. Alternative development, in a nutshell, is about giving illicit cannabis growers an alternative source of legitimate income through the growing of licit crops like cassava, maize, cowpeas, cocoa, vegetables, and so on, coupled with other interventions that would lead to their achieving sustainable livelihoods and economic empowerment. It is against this backdrop that the NDLEA, with strong support from the federal government and our international partners, has adopted alternative development as a core pillar of our drug control efforts and a veritable counterpart, a scale that underscores the entrenched and commercialized nature of the trade. These illicit farms are clustered and interconnected, hinting at organized networks that not only supply domestic demand, but also facilitate trafficking beyond Nigeria's borders. The social and public health implications are stark, with youth and adults alike turning to habitual cannabis use, often initiated in late adolescence. The nation faces the threat of long-term health consequences, increased dependency, and cascading social harms, including lost productivity and the burden on overstretched healthcare systems. Apart from the disruptive consequences of cannabis use on our youths, families, and communities, we know that criminalities, and I'm talking about insurgents, bandits, terrorists, mass kidnappers, and murderers, they all mostly rely on cannabis use before carrying out their dastardly activities, and you, the media. We urge communities across the country, particularly those affected by illicit drug cultivation, to embrace this model and work with the NDLEA in building lawful, productive, and secure livelihoods. In conclusion, let me reiterate that the Alternative Development Program is not just a drug control initiative. It is a people-centered development intervention designed to uplift communities, strengthen national security, and secure Nigeria's future. The NDLEA remains fully committed to expanding this program nationwide in partnership with all stakeholders as we collectively build a safer, healthier, and more prosperous Nigeria in alignment with the renewed hope agenda of the President Tinubu administration.
The Department of State Services, DSS, has arraigned the former Attorney General of the Federation, AGF Abubakar Malami, and his son, Abdulaziz, on a 5-count charge aboarding an alleged terrorism and illegal firearms possession. In the charge filed before the Federal High Court in Abuja, Malami is also accused of refusing to prosecute a suspected terrorism financiers whose cases files were handed to him while he served as the AGF and Minister of Justice. Malami and Abdulaziz are equally accused of warehousing firearms in the residence at Gesa Phase 2 area in Brain KBLGA of Kebbi State without a lawful authority. And in account 1 of the charge, the DSS said the former AGF with knowingly abating the terrorism financing, while the ex-AGF and his son are charged in counts 2 to 5 with unlawful possession of the Sturm Magnum 170101 firearms, 16 Red Star AAA 5720 live rounds of cartridges, and 27 expended Red Stars of AAA 520 cartridges, contrary to and punishable under the relevant sections of terrorism. A respondent defense lawyers Shuaib Aruwan applied orally for bail for the defendants, in arguing that the defendant have been in DSS custody for over 2 weeks. Justice Joyce Abdullah Malik rejected the oral bail application, noting that her court is a court of record and ordered the defense to file formal applications for bail. She ordered that the defendant be remanded in the custody of the DSS and adjourned to February 20th for the commencement of trial. Oyo State Governor Shea Makinde has challenged the former governor of Rivers State and the current Minister of Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, over his readiness to monitor the activities of People's Democratic Party in Oyo State. Now, Makinde stated this at the official commissioning of the new PDP Secretariat building at Okeado in Ibadan on Tuesday. The governor, who noted that the vagabondy in the party since 2015 has been expired, appealed for forgiveness from the party members for yoking with some of the vagabonds in 2023, saying that he had returned wholeheartedly into the party with full force. Stressing his achievement in the party since 2019, Makinde said his leadership will continue to repay hard work, dedication and commitment in the party, saying his leadership's building of PDP Southwest and State Party Secretariat are a testament of progressing the democracy in the country. Meanwhile, the governor, who appreciated the unity in the party, maintained his trust in the nation's judiciary, and the truth will continue to prevail in the party.
Vagabond in PDP, they grew up in 2015, they had their time, and 10 years, a decade, they practice their vagabondsy in the PDP, but they have been expelled in November 2025. So no more vagabond in PDP. But for them to hold PDP for another party to be in power, it is no, no, no. I absolute trust in Nigeria's judiciary. I know they will do the needful. So all these court cases, they will all come together at some point. And judiciary being the last hope of the common man will give justice to PDP.
PDP will be on the ballot paper in this Oyo state and in Nigeria.
A former president of the Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers, CIS, Olatunde Omolegbe, has projected that Nigerian equities could record a return of about 45.9% in the 2026 financial year, driven by improving the macroeconomic stability, pre-election liquidity, expected monetary easing, and major anticipated listings. The chief executive of Arthur Stephen Assets Management made the projection in a presentation titled 2025 Microeconomic Review and Outlook for 2026, Stabilization, Structural Reform, and Market Repricing at the Capital Market Correspondents Association of Nigeria, 2025 Capital Market Review and Prognosis for 2026, held in Lagos. Mokbel said the firm remains constructive on the Nigerian equities market, noting that relative stability in prices and the foreign exchange market alongside modest interest rate and increase the capital raising by institutional investors should support a strong market performance in 2026. The capital market expert also pointed out that Nigerians proposed 25% capital gains tax on investment profits could help reduce the market volatility by discouraging speculative hot money flows, particularly from foreign investors. And according to him, the reform is pushing investors, especially foreign participants, to adopt more strategic and long-term investment approaches. Molegbe further highlighted the key provisions of the reform that allows investors to avoid capital gains tax if proceeds are reinvested, describing it as a strong incentive for capital retention within the Nigerian economy.
What we need to do, for me, are two things, basically. Increase market participation. Market participation, for me, needs a lot of work. We just have to find a way of getting Nigerians to believe in the capital market. The advantage is brings to them in terms of an avenue for savings and as an avenue for growing their capital. So having 10 million people, between 5 and 10 million people participating in the market for a population of 280-something million is just not. More work needs to be done by everybody that is a participant or an actor in this space. All right, that's one. Two, we also need to find a way of encouraging our large cap companies to list in the market. And that is sacrosanct. All right, because if they don't list, if they continue to remain private companies, all right, then how do you capture them in this data? All right, if the NAPCs of this world are not listed, if the discourse that our large companies are not listed, if some other large companies that we all know are remaining private companies, all right, then you will see that this data, all right, it will continue to remain low.
The Nigerian Society of Engineers has reiterated the need for governments at all levels to continuously engage the local engineers in major engineering projects in order to promote a local content development. The national president of NSC, Engineer Ali Musue Rabiu, made the call while speaking at the NSC Keja Branch 53rd anniversary Founders and Family Fun Time, urging governments to involve relevant professionals in budget planning and project design, and to ensure a full implementation of the local content law through increased engagement of indigenous engineers. Rabiu, who was represented by the Vice President, of the Council for the Regulation of Engineering in Nigeria, Engineer Olaolu Ogundile, also called on engineering professionals to embrace continuous training and retraining to remain relevant with evolving applications and innovations in the sector. The chairman, NSC Ikeja branch engineer Nimot Muili, stressed the importance of sustaining legacies as a strategy to enhance the branch's reputation and visibility through deliberate and strategic initiatives. According to her, sustaining these legacies would create more opportunities for young and incoming engineers to learn, relearn, and collaborate for professional growth. The President's Association of Consulting Engineers of Nigeria, Engineer Kunle Adebajo, emphasized the need for members to collectively contribute towards sustaining the legacies laid by past and accomplished leaders of the profession.
First of all, the value that we need to inculcate is, first of all, to get trained, to get empowered, so that we can be useful to ourselves and the nation. So that training is an empowerment in itself. Create an enabling environment, create job for the people, encourage the farms and the Nigerian citizen, so that we can actually develop our local content.
So one of the things I mentioned in my lecture was that Ikeja branch is not just about the leaders. Success definitely depends on leaders, but the followership is very important. And in Ikeja, we brought that clearly to bear, that everybody puts their own efforts into whatever we do, and we lead to success. And I think the nation should learn from that as well. For the young engineers, to be a good professional requires a lot of discipline, a lot of sacrifice. So I would like to suggest that the young ones should not just be preoccupied with money, not be preoccupied with position, but to go through the rigors of a profession, because eventually it will pay off.
So the training hall gives the opportunity for collaboration. Two other organizations have expressed interest and were able to collaborate beyond the shores of Nigeria. So the take home today is that sustain legacy, understand your story, know your why and how you want to sustain it, that in the years to come, when you come around also, you will be known for what you put in. So it's an opportunity, and we also create the platform to appreciate each of our farmers should bring more awareness, collaborate to do technical capacity development for the engineers in the ministry, as well as in the private sector, collaborate to give the opportunity so that local engineers have the opportunity to implement our project, and we can keep our resources within Nigeria and grow the economy.
For us to be intentional in service. Branches and even the NSC are built by members serving. So I will employ the upcoming engineers, the current people taking strike, to please keep service in view and be timely. You know, the timeliness is very important. We should keep the time in getting to what we want to do and do what we want to do. By so doing, we're able to keep the flag flying and keep the legacy.
I want to encourage every budding engineer out there, take your academics serious, do not joke with it, take every single course you're being taught serious. Every single course makes sense. I can sure guarantee you that all the first principles that we're being taught, many might think is just a waste of time. However, if you know how to do things from granular, you're far better off than most of the engineers out there. So believe in yourself. Don't be led down by anyone. Don't be led down by any circumstances. Keep pushing, and you probably get to the pinnacle of your career.
Unemployed youth and women in Fakijai Federal Constituency of Lagos State has received a major boost as the member representing the constituency in the House of Representatives, Honorable Benjamin Adeyemi Olabinjo, facilitated a skills acquisition and empowerment program aimed at reducing unemployment and promoting self-reliance. The empowerment program held in Fakijai brought together over 300 beneficiaries drawn from different communities within the constituency. Participants were trained on various practical skills designed to support sustainable livelihoods and economic independence. This program is a part of our commitment to human capital development and empowerment, focused on policies and initiatives that directly address the socio-economic needs of our people and support for the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Honorable Olabinjo also advised the beneficiaries to make a judicious use of the financial support provided, urging them to invest wisely and build a sustainable future for themselves. The empowerment program underscores the Honorable Olabinjo's ongoing effort to improve economic opportunities and promote self-reliance among residents of Ifakojai Federal Constituency.
It's not a new thing. We have been doing it, and we decided to be doing it, and we continue to do it. Because I know where I come from. I'm a grassroots person, and if you look at the situation of my local government, a lot of empowerment needed there. There's a lot of women, youth who need assistance of the government. How do we assist them? We have to find one way or the other to connect with ministry, all the agencies, to make sure we got something back home for our people. There are 300 people. Even as I speak now, there are 305 that benefited from the program we did today. It is not easy to pick people, but we have been doing it for long now. We have been studying people. Those who came to me for financial assistance, I will just ask them, I don't have time now, but I ask my PA, write their names down. Then I continue to study them. Some will send a message to me that they are in financial crisis, but I study them. Someone will say he needs to be selling market. In another 3 days, you will see another message that my child is sick. I want to pay for my child's school, for my child hospital. Some will say they wanted to pay, so that means that person is not hunting for business. So those who are not hunting for business, I put them on one side, and those who are really serious about business, we put them on one side. So those who are complaining that they want financial assistance for their children's school fees or for health matter, I give it to them in a separate way, not on this training.
We've never had it so good like this. Right from the time of empowerment. The MHR have done wonderful very well to empower the constituents of Ifakojai Federal Constituency. Give them money, give them so many materials so that they could use to trade. You can see the faces of the people. The people are happy, they are joyous about this emblem. And he's been doing wonderfully very well. And we can appreciate him for that. This is the first time we're having such an MHR. That he did not decide that I'm going to put all the pocket money. He can decide to monetize it and be playing us game. But you know he's a straightforward person. He won't play us game. It is what he has that he's giving to us, and we are happy for it.
This empowerment program has a huge success. Like the MHR Honorable Olabinjo Benjamin Adeyemi Avalia told us about this empowerment program for both the Ojokoro constituency 02 of Ifakojai local government and as well as Ifakojai constituency 01. He told us that there are diverse forms of empowerment, and he thereafter chose the one of cash in form of alerts.
What we witnessed today is what Honorable Olabinjo, the House member of the Federal House of Representatives, doing to the populace of Ifakwa and Ojokoro in a kind of relief, the cash relief given to them to augment their businesses. So this is what he's doing for them today, and I really appreciate his effort on that.
The essence of politics is dividends. Because, and now we're talking about dividends, there are categories. Is it infrastructures, or is it the one that will empower people at the grassroots level? So what he's doing is basically to attend to people at grassroots level, talking about the women. And you know, when we're talking about population, the women vote takes a very large percentage. And when any person, a politician like that, takes on them to empower them, it's a lot of job that person is doing. And because it is from that
same money as given for them to do their business, that they're going to fund school fees, they're going to fund family affairs matters. So it's a wonderful project.
It's a very good program, actually. It is all what the community is about, giving back to the community. It's actually one of my priority to find people that can give back to community, because there's no way everybody can be politician. So far we have 1 or 2 politicians doing this. It's going to encourage people to vote. It's going to improve their lifestyle, and it's going to do a lot of things to them. So it's a very beautiful thing to witness.
Well, I feel excited because this is one of the dividend of democracy that we have been expecting from Honorable Benjamin Adeyemi Olabinjo. That's the MHR Federal Constituency Ifakojai. And it is not the first time he has been doing that. He has been doing that to many people. And he has done it severally. And we know he is the one that can deliver. He has been there all through, all the time. And we believe so much in him.
I really appreciate and so glad to even see what Honorable Benjamin Olabinjo did for us today through Ashiwaju. We thank God for their life, and we pray that they will continue to live long. I see 100,000 naira in my account now.
Education received a major boost in parts of Lagos State as renewed philanthropist Will Wound Olawale, popularly known as, distributed free gem forms to students across the 7 local government areas and LCDAs. The Educational Empowerment Initiative covered students from Ijoro Land, Apapa, Igamu, Surulere, Koka, Aguda, Ifelodun, Ajoromi, and Iterika to provide a relief of many families and renewed hope for aspiring undergraduates. Speaking at the distribution event, he emphasized the need for a critical role of education, especially during what he described as the age of reason. He urged all beneficiaries to take full advantage of the opportunity and work diligently towards gaining admissions into higher institutions of their choice. Alhaji Ridwan Olawale, the philanthropist, also expressed gratitude to the Oba of Ijora Kingdom for the confidence reposed in him, pledging to sustain and expand his educational support initiative in the future. Beneficiaries of the free forms could not hide their excitement, expressing a deep appreciating the gesture, and many promised to excel in the examinations and make their benefactor proud.
I've already said it time to time that I know what it takes for somebody that don't have. So in a little God Almighty Allah provide for us. We are giving back to the community, to the street, to the less privileged, to support in a little bit that we are. That at least where we are today is not by power, it's all by Almighty Allah's grace. So we want some of coming students to be like us, so that I think we can be proud of them tomorrow. So my expectation is that, as everybody can see, we are really doing well. So we want all of the students to be doing well like us. So I don't expect anything. It's Almighty Allah that can reward somebody.
To appreciate God's faithfulness in the life of our beloved Olori Odo of Ijora and the Gomu Kingdom, is a leader that is worthy of emulation. He has been on this empowerment, academics empowerment for over 3 years. He has been doing this just to encourage our youth who are willing to go to school, but due to one reason or the other, they couldn't make it. Sincerely, he has been putting smile on a lot of people's face. He has been making us proud.
I want to use this medium to thank the facilitator of this program, the person of Alhaji Chief Rilwan Olawale Yekin Kula, for sponsor over 100 students in the whole of Ijora Kingdom. Advice to the students also, don't let us take this jam form as its opportunity. At least let's take a step to our education and let's take it come out in a flying color.
Well, my advice to them is to not waste this opportunity. The reason why Alhaji Rilwan, also known as Kula, is doing this is because nobody helped him when he was much younger. And even at that, he still made something for himself. And he looked at himself and decided that he wants to do something better for the youths of Lagos. He wants to do something better for the youth of which is the youth leader of this constituency. And I like to state to them clearly, do not throw away the chance you've been given, because too many people are out there praying to God, hoping very well for a chance like this.
I'm using this opportunity to thank the organizer, and I'm here to advise the youth to make use of the opportunity so that it will be a benefit to the society. When they get to their institution, they should know what they are doing. They should not join the bad gang.
I'm here to appreciate the Olori Odo of Ijora. Thank you very much. We appreciate it for the good and
I'm here to thank the Olori Odo of Ijora for giving us this wonderful opportunity for this jam to help us to further our education. And I'm also a proud indigene of Ijora. And I'm also telling him to keep him up. And next year, and I'm sure he's going to do better for us. And I'm also encouraging everybody to also do what he's doing for us, and they should help us to further our education.
And we now take a short break. When we come back, we'll give you some stories in foreign scene. Welcome back on the foreign scene. Iran President confirmed on Tuesday that he had ordered the start of talks with the United States, provided that they were free of threats after the counterpart, Donald Trump, suggested that bad things would happen without a deal. There has been no official confirmation from Iran or where the talks would be held, but an Arab official speaking on condition of anonymity told the AFP a meeting was likely to take place in Turkey on Friday following diplomatic interventions by Ankara as well as Egypt, Oman and Qatar. The U.S. leader spoke of potential military action and sent an aircraft carrier group to the Middle East following the anti-government protests in Iran that were met with a deadly crackdown last month. And in an effort to further strengthen the cooperative relationship between the Republic of Mali and the People's Democratic Republic of China, His Excellency Li Jing, Chinese ambassador plenipotentiary to Mali, paid a courtesy call on the Minister of Defense and Civil Protection, Major General Daoud Ali Mohammedin. The meeting took place at a significant time, coinciding with the 65th anniversary of the establishment of the diplomatic relations between Mali and China, which reflects the strengthening and lasting friendship and cooperation between the two countries. And at the beginning of the meeting, Ambassador Li Jing expressed his deep gratitude to the minister for the warm welcome. He praised the warm welcome extended by Malian people and the respect and care that China's citizens received in Mali. And a secondary school teacher in southeastern France was left in a critical condition on Tuesday after being stabbed by a 14-year-old pupil. The 60-year-old female art teacher was stabbed 3 to 4 times in her chest in front of around 20 other students, according to a local official. The pupil fled the classroom before being caught in the schoolyard and was later arrested on suspicion of attempted murder. Toulon's public prosecutor Raphael Balland said the suspect did not appear to have had a religious or political motive, and adding that all we know is that there had been tensions with this teacher recently, and he was angry with her. La Guerchard School was evacuated after the attack in the early afternoon, and Wednesday's lessons were cancelled, a regional education official said. And early on Tuesday, France's Education Minister Edouard Geoffroy said that he was heading immediately to the school in Sanay Somer, a coastal area of the VAR region. We'll now take a short break. Where we'll come back, we'll give you some stories on sport. Celtic manager Martin O'Neill has had talks with Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain and says that he would be very interested in signing the former Liverpool and Arsenal midfielder. The 32-year-old is a free agent after leaving Turkish side Besiktas in the summer. And capped 35 times for England, Oxlade-Chamberlain has been training with Arsenal, and Oxlade-Chamberlain mutually agreed to terminate his contract as Besiktas in late August. He moved to Istanbul following his release from Liverpool in the summer of 2023 and scored 5 goals in 50 appearances, winning the Turkish Cup in 2024. Celtic made 3 loan signings on transfer deadline day, securing the strikers Union Adamu from Freiburg, winger Joel Mukar from Lorient, and defender Benjamin Arthur from Brentford. Dwight McNeil's partner has criticized Crystal Palace for messing with the winger's mental health after his transfer from Everton fell through late on deadline day. Palace had agreed on a loan-to-buy deal for the 26-year-old, including a £20 million permanent move this summer. McNeil had completed a medical, and the Eagles had submitted a deal sheet before Monday's 900 GMT deadline. McNeil's partner Megan Shapley said that midfielder got a radio silence from the London club on Monday evening, and in a social media post she said a 4.5-year contract had been offered to McNeil, and the pair had prepared to move a life hundreds of miles away before having it torn away without explanation. And that's where we wrap up tonight's news. I remain Victor Daniels. Good night.